Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome, folks, to the Hungry Gamers, back with another mini preview, and today we are talking about Solar Sphere. Pretty amazing graphics right there, right? I'm impressed. I'm so impressed, I'm still pointing at it. Amazing. Now, before I go any further on this, I do have to say that this is more of a first look type of preview, and that's because the physical copy has not arrived to me yet, and then combined with my current schedule and with the new school year and everything, I know that I'm not going to be able to really put it through its full paces when it does finally arrive and still be able to get this video done in time for the actual campaign launch. So I'm doing a little more of a first look, which is based on digital plays that I've done, not based on actual time with the prototype. Please keep that in mind, and also keep in mind that everything I'm going to be talking about is still in development, is still being designed and tweaked and all those things, so it may change. So just, like I said, keep all of that in mind. Hey everybody, Future Hungry Gamer here. Just a quick disclaimer. Currently, Dranda Games is considering a game that my brother has designed for potential future publication. Currently has not been signed or rejected, and I'm actually not privy really to how that is going and where they are in that process, but just so everyone has all the information that you might want. Now, what Solar Sphere is it is the follow-up to Solar Storm, which Dranda Games put out, I believe, 1 year ago or maybe 2 years ago. And the idea is, the canon being that you did escape, and you found a place where you're going to build this solar sphere, this big thing around this particular star, this sun, and use it to make energy and live, I guess. I don't know. If my knowledge of Star Trek Next Generation is right, it's a Dyson sphere. I don't know if they're not allowed to use that name. I have no idea. But anyhow, point being, this is the idea of what you're going to be doing. And the powers that be have put out the word that we want this done, and basically they're hiring mercenaries, but not mercenaries like I'm going to attack you mercenaries, mercenary companies, independent contractors going to build this giant sphere around this star. And to do that, you're going to be using dice placement and a little bit of tableau building mechanics to build this sphere, and you'll get lots of points. Whoever has most points is going to win. That's a super high level, broad overview, and I think that is okay. Because as I talk about the things that I think you'll get a better understanding of how the game works. So what do I like about this game? First thing, I really do enjoy the way that the dice placement works. You're rolling your dice at the beginning of each turn, and then higher numbers in general are better, but there is a reward that you're getting for lower numbers as you're kind of moving up this track on the top of your board, which can kind of be used as wild resources as you happen to need them as you're going through the game. And depending on the numbers you've rolled will depend on which areas around the board you can then place your dice, and then that might be a place that can get you more resources. It might be a place where you're going to be able to spend resources to hire different people to work on your project. All these people that you're hiring go into a tableau, and then that tableau is going to give you some kind of different ability you can use. At the same time, you're building pieces out onto the solar sphere itself, and as you're doing that, each one of those is going to be able to get you points throughout the game, and additionally, it's going to combine with these cards that you're also drafting to make a little bit of a set collection action going on at the end of the game. So what you're hearing is there's a bunch of different things that you could do. You're getting people, you're getting resources, you are upgrading your various abilities that you have. You might be putting a die out on a position, but then instead of actually doing that action, you're going to upgrade that. So in the future, every time you do that action, you're going to get a better action. You're going to be using your dice to get more of these little drones, these little, I don't know, Amazon drones that you're sending out there that are kind of building stuff and doing the work for you. And you'll be getting them, you'll be using them, you'll be taking some of them and leaving them places, and they're kind of managing this somewhat finite resource of drones that you have. And then at the same time, they're also kind of sending these drones out to kind of fend off the people coming in to kind of mess up the whole works that are going on. And if you don't deal with them as a whole, then you're going to wind up with some kind of a penalty. But of course, if you help the most to fend off these pirates or whatever the heck they are, then you're going to get even more bonuses. And what you're hearing is there's a lot of stuff going on all over this board. And each turn, you're only going to have so many dice that you're able to use. And I like the way it works. I like the way, as I started, that you're using these dice, and it is dice placement. So whatever you roll is going to, one, give you a bonus or give you a better action. But at the same time, The number you've rolled is going to limit where you can go. And then that ties into the main mechanic that you're going to have of this collecting resources and spending resources, but you have that lovely tension of, what do I want to spend my resources on first? Do I want to bulk up everything that I can do first? Or do I want to build up my tableau to get all these special abilities that I might have? Or do I want to try to immediately go out onto the sphere itself? Because if I'm on the sphere itself right away, then that's going to get me more points, because if someone builds next to you, you're going to get points for that. There's a lot of things going on. And I like the core tension of how all of that works. I think the art, from what I saw in the digital prototype, it looks pretty good. So I'm confident that that's going to keep on going in the right direction. But really, the main thing that I'm left with after, again, not playing a lot, is like with so many games that Johnny Pack works on. Johnny Pack is not the designer; he's a developer. But even though there's a bunch of different things going on all over the board, they do all come together in a very tight game. And I think everything that you have there is really working together well. And it does make for a fun, interesting experience that I would love to play more of, to really be able to dive deep into. So what are my quibbles with the game? And again, only played a little bit. But my initial thought is, are you going to feel overwhelmed? And you might, because I know when my first turn, I was like, I don't know, I'm going to do this thing. And I'm going to do this. And the thing that I started with and I upgraded a spot wound up being the dumbest thing I could have possibly done, because the entire game I actually never went back there. Because I just didn't know. I couldn't figure it out. So I just kind of made choices. And then as I was playing, I was like, everybody else around the table is doing something completely different than me. Maybe I'm going the wrong direction first. And it might feel a bit overwhelming in that sense. So that is something to keep an eye out for. Then the other thing just to kind of watch for is, well, there's two other things to watch for. One is watch for how the expansions develop, because I got to see one of them, but it was really, really, really early on, and so I don't really want to talk about it. It could be very cool. It has a rondelle system, perhaps, and it could be very cool, but I don't know yet. So again, it's something just to keep your eye on. How are the expansions going to evolve? What are they going to offer you? But the other thing is, this is a game that could feel point salad to you. And I wouldn't call it a point salad game. There's not that many ways to get points, but there are so many different things that you're doing around this board. It might feel that way to you. And then the last thing that I was kind of tossed is, I know that there is a solo mode. I have not gotten to experience it, so I can't speak to that. But I know so many of us are solo players, especially with Euro games. So really just keep an eye on how that develops and what that's going to be. So there you have it, folks. That is my initial thoughts on Solar Sphere, not Solar Storm, my initial thoughts on Solar Sphere. I'm optimistic about this game. I really think that there is potential for this game to be a lot of fun. Again, I don't know, I haven't played it enough, but this is one that I do think, if you like Euro games, if you like the type of games that Johnny Pack often works on, then you really do need to check this out. I don't know if this is the first Euro-style game that the designers have put out, I'm not sure, but if it is, it's a good first crack. If you are into the kind of the core gameplay, the rolling of the dice placement, the dice doing different things, and all of that. So there you have it, folks. That is Solar Sphere. Again, kind of initial thoughts. I hope this is enough to give you an idea if you think this is one that you should check out, dive a little deeper into, check out Board Game Co's review, see what he has to say, see what everyone else has, see what all the other reviewers have to say. But there you have it. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.